The number of migrants crossing a treacherous jungle to reach the US is soaring. The Darien Gap is the only overland path connecting Central and South America. Up to 2,000 people a day enter the dense jungle. They come from Venezuela, Ecuador, Haiti, and even further away to make that trek north. The Darien Gap lies on the border between Panama and Colombia. It's more than 96 kilometers of rainforest, steep mountains and swamps. The government of Panama says more than 250,000 migrants crossed on their way to the US last year. Filmmaker Rasmus Krath is documenting their journey.
Ay, no, de aquí ya fui hasta allá.
¿Y tú el niño más?
Y es difícil ver a los niños caminar y no poder descansar porque las personas avanzan y no te esperan. Acá cada quien está por salir, cada quien acá no se va a quedar a un desconocido a esperarte. Entonces la situación es entrar y mentalizarte que vas a salir.
Joining me now from Copenhagen, Denmark, filmmaker and adventurer Rasmus Krath. Thank you so much for joining us. I just want to bring up some of the video just to illustrate the journey you took. And it's the children, isn't it, that really sort of stand out, and also the heroism of their parents.
Yeah, for me especially, I was moved by the many children who are crossing Darien Gap together with the families. Almost half the migrants I followed were families with small children, even babies, who are not supposed to be in these harsh environments. So that's the extreme situation that's unfolding right now.
If we start at the beginning, why do they embark on this journey?
Well, people have different reasons. The majority is right now from Venezuela, which current situation has led a quarter of the population to leave the country. More than 8 million Venezuelans have left Venezuela over the last 10 years, mainly because of poverty, that people can't get jobs, the prices have risen, and some feel forced to leave because they're basically starving. That's the majority of the Darien Gap migrants. Also the family that I follow closely in my film.
And, you know, they know it's a dangerous journey. They've heard the stories. But how did it compare to the stories that you've heard?
Well, it's the same. Many people know, well, everybody knows that the jungle is dangerous. Some are more enlightened and have more information than others. I also met migrants who actually didn't know what they were going to cross. I met people who had not even food and water or any backpack, and then just started the journey. And during the trek, which is several days, for many migrants, they realize what they have ventured into, and starting to realize the danger. But most people have a certain knowledge, but some almost no knowledge, which is also one of the very extreme things in the Darien. Many people, they walk into the unknown.
And once they're there, they realize they can't go back. I mean, we saw how people died on the journey, but they can't stay there, can they? They can't rest. They've got to keep going. And that's something that they realize along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's moving forward. We walk 12 hours a day, especially because the danger that both the territory has, but especially from the robberies and the assaults that the migrants are subject to, especially on the Panamanian side, where many groups of migrants there are robbed and raping are part of that. Even small girls are getting raped by different gangs. So the migrants, once in the forest, want to get out as quickly as possible. And so did I.
What did you come across any authorities along the way? There will be people watching this saying they shouldn't be allowed to go along that very well-trodden path. I mean, what's stopping them in terms of official opposition?
Well, basically nothing. And there are also several routes through the Darien. It's a vast area. We met one small Panamanian military camp inside the jungle, but they only let the migrants pass. I guess there were 7 or 6 soldiers. And there are other routes that other migrants take where they probably don't even meet anything. The thing is that most part of Darien is a lawless area with not the control of neither Colombia and Panama, which is also why this entire migration is possible. Nobody is stopping them.
Did the family you were focusing in on the film get through? Where are they now?
Well, yeah, they get got through, and I'm following them right now. They are somewhere in Central America on their way on the continuous journey, and I've gotten a lot of videos from them, knowing the situation and also the hardships they meet as migrants continuing further north. It's not been easy. They've been robbed twice, kidnapped once, starved, walked on the highway. That's the situation of many migrants when they leave the Darien.
There are people, who are very worried about immigration levels, and that doesn't just apply to the United States, it applies to countries around the world. They hear about the numbers of people crossing borders and they say it has to stop. I know you're not involved in the politics here, but what are you hoping your film says to those people?
Well, my main message is to try to humanize the fact of migration, to put human faces on migrants, which is also what I'll do in my film following the family from Venezuela, because I believe that when we understand partly that these people are actually individual persons, we usually talk about them in numbers. And when we know their backgrounds, their reasons to migrate, and also what they actually are looking for, then we can probably treat the entire subject of migration in a more constructive way, and especially also a more caring way. I don't have a political agenda saying that we should open or close borders. My message is to put human faces on the migration and understand that they are individuals, human beings like you and me.
Okay, Rasmus Krath, thank you so much for sharing your video with us, and incredible story.
Thanks.